Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Xander. Now this tutorial is part of our Express.js Prisma ORM Query Fundamentals course. You can access this course playlist available for free on YouTube. For deeper learning, the full course is available for purchase at Udemy. Find all the resources and links in this video's description. Now don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and Udemy course giveaways. Okay, so primary key is a unique identifier for each record in the database. It's going to ensure that each row in a table can be uniquely identified and accessed. So the primary key must contain unique values and cannot contain null values. So this is crucial for ensuring data integrity and enabling efficient lookups, updates, and deletions. So anywhere we need to individually maybe select a record from the database. Now our database has already been designed, so we simply just need to follow what's provided. And you can see in every single table or entity here in the entity relationship diagram has a PK field, so a primary key field. And you can see it's the same for every single table. We're using this surrogate key, this made up key to help us uniquely identify records in each table. Okay, so let's go about adding some primary keys to our tables. So this is going to be called ID, that's the name of the field. Now the data type is going to be an integer. Now this is important. Remember that you may want to assign a different value here depending on the size, but let's just stick to integer for now and see what happens. And then we go ahead and we now need to add the @ID. So this is going to mark the ID field as a primary key for the model. Okay, so the primary key, remember, is the unique identifier for each record in the table. So that's how we're going to identify this as a primary key. So let's just add it a bit further here. And then next up, we're going to need to use the default. Because we're not going to specify a value when we create a new category in this case, it's going to be automatically created for us. And what we're going to use here is an auto increment value. So every time we add a new record in the database, the number is just going to increment by 1. So in our table, in the primary key ID field, every time we add a new record, the number is just going to increment by 1, creating a unique value for each record. All right, so let's not forget the parentheses at the end there. And there we go. So that is going to be a basic example of creating a primary key using @ID, using an auto incrementing value. So at this point, as we probably have already seen, because we migrated, we can just add this to every single model we have defined here within our Prisma schema. And that was a simple example of creating a primary key. Now, this pattern that we used here is really easy to use, and you may want to create your own primary keys with different names depending on obviously your design. And of course, ensure that you use the correct data type. So if you know that the keys are going to extend into maybe the billions, then you might want to use a large integer instead of a normal integer.